Routine activities theory, RAT, is derived from the basic concepts of the classical school of criminological thought. Classical school theorists believe that humans are rational individuals who make decisions based on their own free will. Furthermore, humans make these decisions after considering the benefits and costs, or pleasures versus pain, associated with the behavior. RAT describes crime as a result of opportunity. It is a spatio-temporal event. In other words, crime occurs when space and time converge together to create a criminal opportunity. It is not a random event. In order for criminal opportunity to arise and for a crime to occur, three components must be present: a motivated offender, suitable target, and lack of capable guardianship. A motivated offender is a person who is willing to commit a crime when opportunities are presented through the presence and/or absence of the other two components. Target suitability is based on a person or property's availability as a victim, as well as his or her, its, attractiveness to the offender. For example, a woman walking by herself in an alley with no lighting makes her an attractive victim to a mugger or rapist. Finally, guardianship is the ability of persons and objects to prevent a crime from occurring and can take two forms: social and physical. Social guardianship can exist through such factors as household composition, having roommates, lifestyle or marital status. Physical guardianship refers to self-protective measures taken by a person, such as locked gates and outside lighting. The majority of criminological theories attempt to explain why offenders commit crime. However, routine activities theory is unique in that it attempts to explain victimization rather than offending behaviors. Creators of the theory, Lawrence Cohen and Marcus Felsen, were quick to emphasize that an individual's routine activities were those that occurred through the natural and most prevalent routines of a person's life, such as going to work and school, maintaining romantic relationships, or social interaction. For example, a burglar could take notice that the victim is gone every Monday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for undergraduate coursework at the local university, which leaves her house unguarded. Or a rapist takes note that a single female walks home from her job at the bar every night at 3 a.m. in a poorly lit alley. Furthermore, agents of the government, law enforcement, are not the only capable guardians, as it could be friends or family, installation of a front porch light, or adoption of a large dog. Policies based on routine activities theory or rational choice theories focus heavily on influencing what happens before the crime occurs. The concept of target hardening makes targets less appealing for victimization by tightening security.
I think this theory helps us understand criminal behavior by allowing us to understand how our routine or basic lifestyle decisions can affect our likelihood of being a victim of crime. Simply leaving the front door unlocked when a person goes to work at the same time every day can be noticed by a next-door neighbor. He can go into the house and help himself with the comfort of knowing that the homeowner won't be back for a few hours. The grandmother who keeps all her cash under her mattress is a target for family members in need of money. There has been generous support for the routine activities theory and decades worth of empirical studies. Macro-level studies have shown that lack of guardianship in areas with large amounts of transiency was shown to produce a significant effect on crime rates in these neighborhoods. Micro-level studies allow for analysis of factors that specifically apply to individuals. Personal and property crime victimization studies suggest a person's routine activities significantly increase the likelihood of this form of victimization. For example, leaving your front door or car door unlocked increases the likelihood of victimization via burglary. Furthermore, more contemporary studies have indicated that cybercrime victimization can be predicted by a person's routine activities, such as sharing personal information online, target suitability, and time spent in various online arenas. exposure to motivated offenders. When you apply this theory to analysis of a crime, it indicates that we should address crime by placing responsibility on an individual for his or her victimization. In other words, if you leave your door unlocked, you should expect that someone will steal your television and high-tech toys. In order to enforce personal target hardening, the responsibility of the victim in the act should be weighed when considering restitution for the losses. Preventative education programs could also be implemented at universities. For example, all college freshmen should be required to attend a seminar on the opportunities for theft on campus and learn methods of protecting themselves.
This theory does not do a good job of explaining criminal behavior, and here is why. Based on the classical school premise from which RAT is based, we can assume that those who advocate for the theory as an explanation of victimization assume that motivated offenders of crime also operate of their own free will. However, this explanation does not account for all of the other influences on a person's actions. In other words, it is illogical to assume that every individual who was ever victimized was taken advantage of by a rational thinking person who made the decision to commit a crime based on free will with no other pressures. There has been strong support for other theoretical schools of thought explaining criminal behavior, all of which assert that there are other influencing factors in the decision-making process to commit crime. For example, Gottfredson and Hershey's general theory of crime utilizes an explanation of how parenting methods, self-control, and opportunity are related to explain criminal behavior. With this theory, people with low self-control are more likely to participate in criminal behavior as they are impulsive, risk-taking persons who are attracted to tasks that result in immediate pleasure. In other words, they are not rational individuals who weigh benefits and consequences of a decision. Instead, they do not consider the long-term consequences of an act and simply consider the immediate result. If someone walks by an unlocked car with an iPad and a $20 bill on the front seat, the temptation to steal it may be an impulsive decision. A second theoretical school of thought to consider is Aker's social learning theory, which asserts that an individual is influenced by members of intimate groups, such as peers and family. If individuals in your intimate group support breaking the law, it is more likely that you will perform those behaviors. The concepts of imitation of behaviors and differential reinforcement, reward given based on performance, are also predictors of criminal behavior. In other words, if a teenager participates in shoplifting because her friends also perform the behavior and she gets away with it, it's more likely that she will continue to shoplift. The purpose of target hardening policies is to prevent crime from occurring based on increase of security measures. There has been criticism of target hardening practices used in public schools, such as metal detectors and the presence of patrolling law enforcement. While the intention of these practices are to decrease the likelihood of school violence, including shootings and physical assault, some assert that these methods are oppressive and destructive to the educational environment. Some students feel as if they are in a prison and become anxious in response to target hardening measures. Other students have made sport of attempting to smuggle weapons and other contraband past detection devices simply to prove that they can. When considering that there are other influential factors that affect the criminal decision-making process, target hardening measures would not necessarily deter all types of offenders. For example, an offender with a mental illness or drug addiction is not in a rational frame of mind and therefore would likely steal money or commit a homicide without weighing the consequences of his actions. Such offenses and offenders make up a significant portion of the offending population. For example, U.S. Bureau of Justice statistics indicates that over half of the jail and prison population has a mental health problem, while 26% of federal and 32% of state prison inmates report drug use at the time of their offense. A porch light or extra deadbolt on a door would not take away the motivation of this type of offender.